Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next installment of our how-to series. Today, we're going to discuss how to create preset alerts in the Alertus web console. My name is Chris Sharon, Senior Training Specialist here at Alertus, and I will be your host for today. So before we jump in, let's go over what we're going to cover. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you where you can locate help and training materials in case you need to access it outside of a one-on-one training that you have scheduled with us. Then we'll jump into some information about what preset alerts are, the anatomy of an alert so that you understand all of the parameters that are necessary to create a preset alert. And I'll show you some ways that you can optimize your preset alerts in the future. And then finally, we'll jump into the console for a live demo on how to create a preset alert. And I'll show you what a preset activation will look like with the alert that we just created. And then I'll open the floor up to some Q&A. Please feel free at any point in time during this webinar to enter your questions in the chat box or the questions box, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as I get them in. Alrighty, so what I would love for you guys to get out of this training is first, identify the parameters that you need to set up prior to designing your preset alerts. You're going to be able to use reporting features to assess group memberships and ensure accurate recipient targeting. I want you to leave here being confident in setting up your system to disseminate alerts for specific scenarios, and of course, access help resources and contact support. So with that, if you're not sure what this is our customer portal, help.alertus.com. This is where you can find some more information and some do-it-yourself learning. Here, if you don't have a login for it, please reach out to our tech support with your name and email address and your organization's name, and they'll go ahead and give you access to it. But on the portal, also known as our knowledge base, you can find how-to articles and technical guides for all aspects of the Alertus system. You can also go there to submit a ticket with tech support. You can find new user training. We have a brand new training page that has great videos and articles and resources to help facilitate your new employee onboarding if they are going to be utilizing Alertus. We also have a how-to series page on there, so you will be able to find this video for later retrieval on that page. Alrighty. Before we dive in, I want to make sure that you take advantage of our robust training program in both a one-on-one or group setting. Our courses include emergency manager training, which focuses on helping you prepare your organization to manage emergency alerting via the Alertus system. And we also have our new user training for all levels of users. It typically goes over how to navigate the Alertus console, and it goes over the specific responsibilities for that user type. We also have more technical training if you have any IT personnel or if you've been charged with, say, sustaining and managing your system. We have system configuration training, as well as sustainment training that focuses on troubleshooting and maintaining your system at a constant state of readiness. If you are interested in one-on-one training for yourself or your team, please reach out to your Alertus account manager and they will help coordinate that for you. Alrighty, so what are preset alerts? If you're familiar with the system, you know that preset alerts allow for quick and easy activation for specific scenarios that have been pre-planned. They contain all of the aspects of the alert, from the message to the device behavior and the targeted recipients. They are intended to allow dispatchers to define several alert messages for foreseeable scenarios. So these are all pre-planned scenarios. They are not customizable at the time of activation. They have all of the aspects, including the message, already set up. So it is the fastest and easiest way to dispatch an alert with the minimum number of clicks. These are also the alerts that you'll be able to dispatch from the Alertus mobile activator app. And what's great about this is that it does minimize errors because you have already planned out what the message will say and how the alert will be disseminated. And all your dispatchers have to do is select the appropriate scenario and click send. We also have a certain level of user called preset only users that are restricted to only preset activations. And this again will help minimize errors and reduce their stress at the time of an incident. So preset alerts are not just used to activate from the web console or the mobile activator app, but they're great to apply to panic button activations and custom event triggers. So if you press a button or if you set up some custom event trigger that is getting a third-party feed, for example, the NOAA CAP alerts, you can create preset alerts that will be launched as soon as the system picks those up. You can also use them for external systems such as VoIP phones. Using a preset alert pin, you'll be able to activate preset alerts from the VoIP phone using a pin that you have created. Now, for all activation types, but especially for preset alerts, you need to understand that every alert contains these aspects. You need to have a message text with a duration and priority for the alert. You need to specify the delivery methods, essentially what types of devices are going to be activated and what will their behavior be when they receive the alert. And then of course you need to identify the recipients. So whether you're going to target every single alert device in your organization or just specific groups or one group or just specific units for the alert. Essentially, once you have all of those parameters in place, you are set to create a preset alert. Before we jump into the demo, I like to talk about a couple of ways that you can optimize your preset alerts with a bunch of features that we have. So first we have preset types. This is a visual styling that will allow users to notice at a glance what the preset alert will be used for. You can customize the colors and the icons that are contained in the preset alerts. These are great, especially when you're using the mobile activator app, because it will allow the user's eye to focus on the appropriate scenario at the time of activation. Preset prompts are great because, as I mentioned, since all of the aspects of the alert, including the message, are already pre-planned and pre-configured, the system does not typically allow preset alerts messages to be customized at the time of activation. However, if there are certain aspects of the situation that need customization at the time of activation, then you can use preset prompts, which will prompt the user to enter specific bits of information depending on the scenario, and it will update the text in real time, and that is the information that will be sent out with the alert. We also have preset alert variables. These are great for CAP alerts that are automatically triggered. They act as placeholders within the text that are replaced with the values that come in from the CAP feed. And then finally, we have preset alert pins. These are great when you're using any external system. For example, as I mentioned earlier, VoIP phones. You can create a key and pin that will activate specific preset alerts for given scenarios that can be activated right from their VoIP phones. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and jump into the console and show you what you need to have set up to create a preset alert, and then we'll go ahead and set one up. All right, once in the console, notice here we have our main page that has all of your activation methods. Do note that I have an administrator profile with full access of my system, and I pretty much have everything enabled. If your view of the console does not look like this, it is fine. As long as you have access to configure system and preset alerts, you should be able to create a preset alert. Before we jump in, excuse me, I'd like to go ahead and show you what a preset activation will look like. Again, remember, these are all pre-configured. And so here you will see, once my page loads, you will see a quick access panel that I have created. I will show you how you too can create a quick access panel for yourself. But if you don't have one, no worries. clicking on the drop-down where it says select preset alert here will show you all of your list of all the preset alerts that are configured in your system. Now, I'm going to choose this one here, Silver Alert, just so that you can see I have set up some preset prompts here. So this is in the event that a resident goes missing from their room, I can enter the resident's name, their room, and the time they were found missing here at the time of activation, because we know that not all scenarios are planned to perfection. And so sometimes we do need the ability to enter specific information at the time of incident. So that's why we have these preset prompts here. So I'm going to enter here, Mrs. Jones from room 211 was found missing at 11 a.m. Notice here that as I enter the information here in the prompts, it filled it in the text. And so this is what is going to be sent to all of my alert devices. When I press continue, I will see here all of the aspects of the alert that were pre-configured. So notice all I had to do was enter a name, a room number, and a date, but everything else, including the duration, priority, my delivery methods, and who I'm targeting for this alert are already pre-configured. So all I will do is click send. And here you see operation success. I have an active alerts ticker, and momentarily you will see an alert pop up on my computer screen. And here is the silver alert with all of the information that I entered already. I'm going to acknowledge that and close that out. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this so that we have the ability to send another alert after we create our preset. So before creating a preset alert, you want to ensure that you have a few things in place already. First, you want to make sure that you have messages or message templates to choose from. Now, that is not the most important because you can always create and customize your own message text when you're creating the preset alert, but it's good to see what you have already. So to do that, you go under Configure System, expand that arrow, and go down to where it says Message Templates. Once you click on there, you will see all of the messages that are available for you to choose from. If for some reason none of these messages meet your needs for the specific scenario that you're trying to create the preset alert for, don't worry, I will show you how you can create a custom message for that preset alert when we're creating it. The next thing you want to make sure that you have is your alert services or your delivery methods. So essentially, you want to make sure that the types of devices and the behavior you want that alert to have when, or excuse me, that device to have when the alert is received is already preset or pre-configured. So to do that, we're going to go here to Alert Services, and we're going to ensure that I have the appropriate desktop profile for it, and that I have any other integrations and any other services that I would like to target. So I already have my alert services here. Some of you may have already pre-configured alert profiles, which are convenient groupings of individual alert services. So if that is the case, you can just go under Configure System to Alert Profiles. And you'll be able to see here, I have for different scenarios, I have for emergency and evacuation, a shelter in place, system test, an all clear. And these are the alert services that I have here already pre-configured. So when I'm creating my preset alert, I can either choose individual alert services or from an alert profile. And the last thing you want to ensure is that you have the appropriate recipients to target for your alert. They can either be grouped by groups, location, role, or function. You can choose to specify only individual units. It is up to you. But for the purposes of this training, I'm going to ensure that I have my groups set up already. To see that, you would just go here under Configure System to see Groups. Now on this page, all you can see is what groups have been set up already. And as long as you have the appropriate group, that you would like to target, it's found here. You can go ahead and look at a group membership report to ensure that those devices are assigned to the appropriate groups that you want to target. So for example, here I have created a group for this webinar called Webinar Exclusive. And if I want to see what devices belong to this group, I will actually go to my report that says Group Memberships, click on there. And I will go here to my webinar exclusive group and expand that and make sure, okay, my device, this is my desktop client, is assigned to this group. This is the exact group and the exact devices that I want to target here. If you would like to target multiple groups for a specific preset alert, you can just click on through and ensure that the devices you want to target are actually in the groups as they are shown here. So for example, here, I don't have any devices here, but I might have some mobile users, and I have a mobile user here. So I'm able to not just target desktops, but my mobile clients as well. Alrighty. So once we have ensured that we have our messages, our groups, our devices, and our alert services and profiles set up, we can go ahead and create our preset alert. To do that, we'll go down to Configure System. And notice here, they're all in alphabetical order, so just look for preset alerts. Now you may already see a bunch of preset alerts that have been created with in your system. If you need to create a new scenario, you would just go to Add Preset Alert. But before we do that, I want to show you here. Notice how I have different colors and different icons here for these different types of preset alerts. These are called the preset types. So if you're wondering how you can configure those to meet your specific needs, just scroll down to the bottom of the preset alert page. You'll find a section that says preset types, and you will see here different ones. If you don't have one that you would like, sometimes the Alertus system comes standard with just a simple black outline with a cautionary symbol in the middle. But if you'd like to create a new one, just go to Add Preset Type. Here you would name it. So for this one, I'm going to call it Webinar Exclusive because I'm using it just for this webinar. And the icon I'd like to use is anything here really will work for you. I'm going to just go ahead and use this emergency one. And I'm going to change the border color to this pink. And I notice here in the preview, it's updating in real time everything that I'm selecting here. If I wanted to change the text color as well, I can. I'm not going to, only because I want this to be easily read. So maybe I'll make sure that it is pure black, and yes, it is there. And the preset alert icon, I'll go ahead and change it to pink here. So this is essentially what my preset alert icon will look like. This is especially important for the mobile activator app because this is what your users are going to see and click on. If you want to bold the text, you can do that as well. It makes it a little bit clearer. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And now I have a new preset type to show. Now, if you're wondering about those preset alert pins, just under the preset types section of the preset alert page, you will see preset pins. If you have VoIP phones, you would enter the phone number of the phone that will be activating it and then create a PIN code for that. To do that, you will go here to Add Preset Alert PIN. And just ensure that you have all of the parameters. So the preset key is essentially the key associated with the preset PIN. So this is typically the phone number for your VoIP phone. Here you can enter a custom PIN. You would name it so that you would know what this PIN belongs to. And then you would choose the preset alert that will dispatch with when that PIN code is entered in that phone. I don't have a VoIP phone, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that and not create it. but that is essentially how you would create one there. And it will show up here like this. All right. Now let's go ahead and create our new preset alert. And we're going to use our webinar exclusive preset type. So we're going to scroll up to the top of preset alert page, click on add preset alert. Okay, for the name, I'm going to call it webinar exclusive. I'm going to keep it very consistent today. You would want to be strategic with the name because this is essentially what your users will see at first glance. So you want to make sure that the name of the preset alert matches the scenario it's going to be used for. So if it's an evacuation due to equipment failure or due to some weather issue or some active shooter event, you will want to name it that way. You can add a description if you like, used for webinars only. And for the preset type here, this is my default one. If I wanted to change it and use the preset type that I just created, I would just click on the drop down, find it, and there it will update to the webinar exclusive preset type that I have created. All right, so for the text, remember you can choose here from the drop down. These are all of the message templates that are found in the message templates section of configure system. If for some reason none of these templates meet your need, you can just enter your own custom message here. I'm going to do a combination of both. So I'm going to choose this general alert one. It says an emergency condition has been detected, but I want to have the user be prompted to enter a location of where the emergency condition has been detected. So I'm going to put at, and then I'm going to enter a text prompt that will say location, insert, and here when we launch this preset alert, the user will be prompted to enter a location of where the emergency condition was detected. You can also include preset variables here if you need to. So for example, here you can see the event type, and these are what the variables will fill in, the information being fed from these types. So if you have any CAP alerts, custom event triggers set up, fire panel, lightning events, panic button push, or sensor event, simple incoming message, Atom or RSS feed, excuse me, you are able to pull the variables from here and enter it into the message itself. Given that I do not have these set up here, I'm not going to use it, but that is essentially what you would put, and you can have it set up anywhere in the message itself. So if, for example, you wanted to use it for a panic button event, and the variable that you want to pull in is the user that pressed the panic button, or the client's name, or the building, the BSS ID, really whatever information you would like pulled in from that panic button event will appear there in the message. So let's say I want to make sure that I know who is the one that sent the panic button event. So I'm going to insert that. And that will appear at the end of my message there to let people know who sent the alert. Okay. I'm going to delete it because, as I mentioned, I'm not going to use this one for a panic button. Next thing I want to make sure is that the duration of my alert is appropriate. So this is essentially how long the alert will stay active in the system. I'm going to go ahead and make it 30 minutes to ensure that everyone has time to receive this alert. Remember that devices that are turned on are the ones that are going to receive the alert. If they're not turned on within this duration period, they will never receive the alert. And then for the priority, I'm going to ensure that any emergency alert has the first or highest priority. If this was, for example, a test alert, I would give it maybe a lower priority to make sure it's overridden by any emergency alerts that may occur around the same time. Next, I'm going to specify my delivery methods. So essentially the types of devices I want activated and their behavior at the time of activation. So I created a desktop profile for this webinar, and I'm going to use just that. So that means that this alert will be targeting Alertus desktops, and it will have a pop-up or full screen takeover depending on how I designed it. And then finally, out of all the desktops in my organization, I want to specify which specific ones will receive the alert. Again, you can choose to target all devices. So here, all desktops in my organization will receive it. Or I can choose specific groups. So if I wanted to just send it out to the webinar exclusive group, I can. I can also send it to other groups as well. I'm not just limited to one group. Or I can choose to send it to one specific device or a couple of different devices here. But for this training, I'm going to go ahead and use my webinar exclusive group. And now notice here, I have the name of my preset alert event. I have my message duration and priority. I have my delivery methods here and my recipients. I'll go ahead and click add preset alert. And now I have a brand new preset alert here to use in the future. Now, if you notice here, these little stars next to the preset alerts, some are yellow, some are blank. The yellow ones here that I start as favorites are the ones that will appear on my quick access panel of the console. And so if I wanted to ensure that this one appears on my quick access panel, I'll go ahead and click on the star to start it. All right, now that I have my preset alert, let's go ahead and launch it. So I'm going to go to preset activation. And notice here, I have my webinar exclusive. I'm going to click on there. Notice I cannot edit any aspect of the text except enter the location at building 1. Press continue. These are all the parameters of the alert that I created for the preset, and I'm going to click send. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you create a preset alert in the web console. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at 866-425-3788 or email us at info@alertus.com. If you need any tech support, you can reach us at support@alertus.com. Remember, take advantage of your access to the customer portal, help.alertus.com, and please feel free to visit our training page where you will find not just this video, but a slew of other trainings that will be very helpful for you to maintain your system. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.